Beneath the cobblestone streets, where the light dares not linger, secrets fester like old wounds. A city poisoned, a monster unleashed, and two thieves, armed with blades, banter, and a death wish, caught in the middle of a game far deadlier than they ever imagined. The alchemist had promised chaos. Elias and Kira, they just wanted to survive the night. But in the shadows, where betrayal breathes and danger sharpens its claws, survival was never going to be that simple. Please wait. Before we start, tap that iCard button in the top right corner and smash that subscribe button right now. Hit the notification bell so you're first in line when new stories land. Alright, let's dive into the story. The Grand Hall of the Celestial Accord shimmered under the glow of floating holographic orbs, casting shifting patterns of light across the gathered alien dignitaries. The air hummed with the low-frequency vibrations of a dozen different languages, translated seamlessly by the implants in their ears. At the center of the circular platform stood Ambassador Kales Vera, his silver skin reflecting the ambient light like polished metal. His elongated fingers gestured gracefully as he addressed the assembly, his voice calm but firm. The Void Swarm does not discriminate. It consumes all in its path. The silence that followed was so thick, it could have been cut with a blade. Senator Draxus of the Zorati Dominion was the first to react, his scaled face twisting in outrage. "What is the meaning of this?" he hissed, his forked tongue flicking between needle-like teeth. "A human? In this chamber?" Kales didn't flinch. Commander Cross has been instrumental in repelling the swarm's recent attacks. Her insights could prove invaluable. Draxus slammed a clawed hand onto the table, the sound echoing like a gunshot. Humans were banished from these talks for a reason. Their presence is an insult. Lily smirked, crossing her arms. "Relax, Scales. I don't take up much space." A few of the delegates stiffened at the nickname, but one, Toroving Krylix ambassador draped in a cloak darker than space itself, stepped forward. His burning, ember-like eyes locked onto her, and the temperature in the room seemed to drop. "Human," he said, his voice a low, dangerous rumble. "You tread where you are not welcome." Lily met his gaze without blinking. "Funny, I was just thinking the same thing about the swarm." The Krylix's lips curled, revealing teeth like shards of obsidian. "You're not like the others." "Damn right I'm not." Kales cleared his throat, stepping between them. "Enough. We are here to discuss an alliance, not reignite old conflicts." Draxus wasn't finished. "You bring a human to a peace summit and expect us to believe this is anything but a threat?" Lily rolled her eyes. "If I wanted to threaten you, you'd know." She tapped the hidden blade at her wrist, the motion subtle but deliberate. The Krylix ambassador didn't miss it. His eyes flicked to her wrist, then back to her face. "You carry their weapons." "Yeah, and I know how to use them." The tension in the room was a live wire, sparking and dangerous. Then, from the shadows near the back, a new voice cut through, smooth, amused, and entirely unexpected. Well, this just got interesting. All eyes turned to the speaker, a lithe, feline-like diplomat. Lily's hand instinctively went to her wrist, fingers brushing the hidden blade beneath her sleeve. The Krylix ambassador's burning eyes never left her. "You feel it too, don't you?" he murmured, his voice like gravel. "The pull." Lily frowned. "What pull?" Before he could answer, the doors burst open, and a Zorati guard stumbled in, his armor scorched. "Breach in Sector 7, he gasped. "The swarm, they're inside the station." Chaos erupted. Draxus whirled on Kales, his claws extended. "You brought this upon us." Kales held up his hands, his silver skin gleaming under the emergency lights. "We don't know that." Lily cut him off. "Doesn't matter. Right now, you need to evacuate or fight. Pick one." The feline Cyrene diplomat, her golden fur bristling, let out a low growl. "Fight?" Against that, she gestured to the view screen, where a writhing mass of black tendrils slithered through the outer corridors. Lily's jaw tightened. Yeah, that. The Krylix ambassador stepped forward, his cloak billowing like smoke. The human is right. Running will only delay the inevitable. Draxus hissed. And you trust her? The Krylix's lips curled. No, but I trust survival. Lily ignored them, tapping her comm, crossed to Valkyrie. Status report. A crackling voice responded. Commander, we're locked out of the main systems. Someone's overridden station control. Lily's blood ran cold. Sabotage. Kaylee's paled. That's impossible. The Accord security is compromised, Lily finished. She turned to the Krylix. You knew this would happen. His ember-like eyes flickered. I suspected. A roar echoed through the hall, closer this time. The walls shuddered as something massive slammed against them. The feline Cyrene bared her teeth. We're sitting prey in here. Lily didn't hesitate. Then we move. Now, she pointed to Draxus. You get your people to the hangar bays. Draxus sneered. I don't take orders from... A deafening crash cut him off as the far wall exploded inward. A monstrous, chitinous limb lashed out, snatching a Zorti guard and dragging him screaming into the darkness. Lily's blade was in her hand before anyone could blink. Too late for running. The Krylix ambassador's voice was eerily calm. Then we stand together. Lily shot him a sideways glance. Funny, I thought you hated humans. He bared his obsidian teeth in something that wasn't quite a smile. I hate the swarm more. The creature in the shadows let out a guttural screech, and the hall erupted into chaos. Lily tightened her grip on her blade. This was going to be one hell of a peace talk. The creature lunged from the shattered wall, its segmented body oozing black ichor as it scuttled forward on too many legs. Lily ducked under its first swipe, rolling to the side as her blade flashed out, slicing deep into its chitinous hide. The thing shrieked, recoiling, but not fast enough. The Krylix ambassador moved like a shadow given form, his weapon, a curved, serrated thing that hummed with energy, carving through the creature's midsection in one clean stroke. Not bad, Lily muttered, kicking the twitching carcass aside. The Krylix didn't look at her. Save your praise. There will be more. As if summoned by his words, another screech echoed from the hallway beyond. The Cyrene diplomat hissed, her claws extending. We need to get to the armory. Now. Kaylee's grabbed Lily's arm, his silver fingers trembling. The Accord's defenses, if we can reactivate them, Lily shook him off. No time. We fight our way out, or we die here. Draxus snarled, his scales flushed dark with rage. This is your fault, human. The swarm follows your stench like carrion beasts. Lily spun on him, her blade inches from his throat. Say that again, and I'll show you exactly how humans handle pests. The Krylix stepped between them, his burning gaze silencing them both. Enough. The swarm cares nothing for your squabbles. A series of rapid clicks echoed from the corridor, the sound of chitin on metal. Too many legs. Too many mouths. Lily exhaled sharply. They're flanking us. The feline Cyrene's ears flattened. Then we move. Together. They bolted for the opposite exit, the Krylix taking point with eerie, predatory grace. Lily kept pace, her senses sharp, every nerve alight. The hallway beyond was a nightmare. Bodies littered the floor, some still twitching, half consumed. The air reeked of acid and blood. Kaylee's gagged. By the stars. Lily didn't slow. Don't look. Just run. They rounded a corner, only to skid to a halt. A pulsing, organic mass blocked the corridor ahead, tendrils writhing like serpents. The Krylix hissed. A breeder. Lily's grip tightened on her blade, meaning it births more of them. The mass shuddered, and a dozen smaller creatures tore free from its flesh, skittering toward them with clicking mandibles. The Cyrene let out a furious yowl. We are not dying today. Lily bared her teeth. Damn right we're not. She lunged, the others at her back, and the hallway became a storm of blades, claws, and screams. But even as she fought, Lily couldn't shake the Krylix's words. The swarm follows your stench. Was there truth in Draxus's rage? Did the swarm want her? The breeder's spawn fell in twitching heaps, their ichor pooling black and thick on the floor. Lily wiped her blade on her thigh, breathing hard. The Krylix stood motionless beside her, his weapon still humming with latent energy. That was too easy, she muttered. The Krylix's ember eyes flickered. They were young, weak. Draxus shoved past them, his scales slick with gore. We need to keep moving before more come. The Cyrene diplomat flicked her claws clean with a disgusted snarl. He's right. This station is a death trap. Kaylee's, pale but steady, pointed down a side corridor. Armory's that way. If we can secure weapons. A low, guttural vibration shuddered through the walls. The lights flickered, then died, plunging them into darkness. Only the faint glow of emergency strips remained, casting long, jagged shadows. Lily's comm crackled to life. Cross, systems are rebooting. Someone's fighting back from the control hub. She tapped her earpiece. Ooh, a pause. Then, unknown, but they're good. The Krylix tilted his head, listening to something only he could hear. We are not the only ones hunting the swarm here. Lily narrowed her eyes. You know something? He didn't deny it. Perhaps. Before she could press him, the Cyrene hissed. Movement behind us. They turned as one. The shadows at the end of the hall twisted. Something massive uncoiling from the darkness. Not a swarming. Not a breeder. This thing stood on two legs, its armored carapace gleaming like polished obsidian. Humanoid. Almost familiar. Lily's breath caught. What the hell is that? The Krylix went rigid. A reaper. Draxus stumbled back. Impossible. They were all destroyed. The reaper's head snapped toward them, its faceless helm splitting open to reveal rows of needle teeth. A voice like grinding metal echoed through the hall. Liliphi feed Deus. Lily's blade was up in an instant. Yeah, not happening. The reaper moved faster than anything that size should. It lunged, claws slashing, only to meet the Krylix's curved blade in a shower of sparks. The impact sent the ambassador skidding back. Go, he snarled. I will hold it. Lily grabbed Kaylee's arm. Move your ass. They ran, the sounds of battle fading behind them. The Cyrene panted as she matched Lily's pace. Your friend is dead. Lily didn't look back. He's not my friend. A thunderous crash echoed through the corridor. Then silence. Too much silence. Kaylee swallowed hard. Do you think? The Krylix's voice cut through the dark ahead of them, calm as ever. The armory is sealed. I suggest you hurry. Lily didn't know whether to be relieved or furious. You're full of surprises, aren't you? His ember eyes gleamed in the dim light. You have no idea. Behind them, something screeched in the dark. Something new. The armory door hissed open under the Krylix's touch, revealing racks of gleaming alien weaponry. Lily didn't hesitate. She snatched up a plasma rifle, checking its charge with practiced efficiency. Never thought I'd be glad to see one of these again, she muttered, slamming a fresh power cell into place. The Cyrene diplomat tested the weight of a vibro-claw gauntlet, flexing her fingers. Humans and their toys. Draxus ignored them both, arming himself with a Zorti shock blade. We need to reach the hangar. My ship can get us off this cursed station. Kaylee's palmed a small energy pistol, his hand shaking. And then what? The swarm is out there too. The Krylix didn't take a weapon. He didn't need to. The Reaper was a scout. Where there is one, there are more. Lily shouldered her rifle. Then we make sure they don't report back. A new voice crackled over the comms. Feminine, sharp with urgency. Unidentified survivors. This is Captain Vera of a UEF battleship Resolute. We're detecting multiple swarm signatures converging on your position. Hold tight, we're coming in hot. Lily's head snapped up. Vera? As in, Kaylee's went rigid. My sister. The siren's ears pricked. Your sister commands a human warship? Before Kaylee's could answer, the station rocked violently. Alarms wailed as the ceiling groaned under some massive impact. The Krylix grabbed Lily's arm, his grip like iron. They're bombarding the station. Lily wrenched free. That's our ride. She stabbed her comm. Vera, belay that. You'll bring the whole swarm down on us. Static. Then, negative, Commander. We have a lock on your signal. Prepare for extraction in 90 seconds. Draxus snarled. More humans? This just gets better and better. The Krylix's eyes burned brighter. The swarm will follow. Lily met his gaze. Yeah, that's the idea. She turned to the others, her voice cutting through the chaos. New plan. We draw them to the hangar. Let Vera's guns clear us a path. The siren bared her teeth. Suicidal. I like it. Kaylee's looked sick. You're using us as bait? Lily checked her rifle. I'm using me as bait. You're just along for the ride. Another impact shook the station. The lights died completely this time, leaving only the eerie glow of weapon charge indicators. In the dark, the Krylix's voice was barely a whisper. You still don't understand, do you? They're not just following you. Lily froze. Then what? The station shuddered again. Somewhere in the distance, metal screamed as something very large tore its way inside. The Krylix leaned close, his breath hot against her ear. They're remembering you. The dim glow of the lanterns flickered against the damp stone walls as Elias and Kira crept through the narrow tunnel beneath the city. The air was thick with the scent of mildew and something metallic, blood perhaps. Elias tightened his grip on the hilt of his dagger, his knuckles white. You sure this is the right way? Kira whispered, her voice barely audible over the distant drip of water. Elias shot her a sideways glance. Unless you've got a better map hidden in those pockets of yours, this is it. Kira rolled her eyes. Oh, forgive me for doubting the man who got us lost in the sewers last week. That was one time. Elias hissed, though a smirk tugged at his lips. And we found that stash of gold, didn't we? After nearly being eaten by a giant rat, Kira muttered, shuddering at the memory. A sudden scrape of boots on stone silenced them both. Elias pressed a finger to his lips and motioned for Kira to stay back. Peering around the corner, he spotted two armored guards leaning against a rusted gate, their voices low and bored. Another night stuck down here, one grumbled. I swear, if I have to listen to Jorix snoring one more time, the other guard chuckled. Better than being on the wall. That wind will freeze your bones solid. Elias ducked back, his mind racing. We need to get past them, he murmured. Kira's eyes gleamed with mischief. Distraction? Before Elias could stop her, she snatched a loose pebble and tossed it down the opposite corridor. The guards straightened, hands on their swords. What was that? One muttered. Probably just another rat. The other sighed. Go check it out. As one guard trudged away, Kira grinned. Now's our chance. Elias exhaled sharply. You're gonna get us killed one day. Ah, but what a way to go, she quipped, already slipping past the remaining guard with practiced ease. Beyond the gate, the tunnel opened into a vast chamber, its ceiling lost in shadow. Crates and barrels lined the walls, and at the center stood a figure cloaked in black, its back turned. Elias's pulse spiked. This was their target, the rogue alchemist who'd been poisoning the city's wells. Kira nudged him. Ready? Elias nodded, steeling himself. But as they stepped forward, the figure whirled around, a vial of glowing liquid in hand. Well, the alchemist crooned, voice dripping with malice. Look what the rats dragged in. Kira flashed a defiant grin. Sorry to crash the party. We heard you were serving something toxic. The alchemist's laughter echoed off the walls. Clever, but not clever enough. Elias barely had time to react as the vial shattered at their feet, a cloud of acrid smoke billowing up. He grabbed Kira's arm, yanking her back as the world dissolved into chaos. Coughing, Kira wheezed. Okay, maybe next time we knock first. Elias didn't reply. The smoke cleared just enough to reveal the alchemist vanishing through a hidden door, and the dozen armed mercenaries now blocking their exit. Kira Coelho, you just had to jinx it, didn't you? Elias drew his dagger, bracing for the fight. No more talking. Kira Smiegel, spinning hair bleeds. Now you're speaking my language. The mercenaries charged, and the chamber erupted into chaos. Steel clashing, shouts ringing, and the distant rumble of something far worse stirring in the depths below. The mercenaries lunged, blades flashing in the dim torchlight. Elias ducked under a wild swing, driving his dagger into an attacker's thigh. The man howled, collapsing as Kira spun behind another, her twin knives slashing across his back. Nice move, Elias panted, sidestepping a thrust. Kira quint. About a few more. She kicked a crate into a third mercenary's path, sending him sprawling. But the numbers were against them. Elias parried desperately, sweat stinging his eyes. We can't hold them off forever. Kira's eyes darted around the chamber. Then we don't hold them, we outsmart them. She snatched a lantern from the wall and hurled it at a stack of barrels. Flames erupted, tongues of fire licking at the spilled ale inside. The mercenaries faltered, shouting in panic as the blaze spread. Elias coughed through the smoke. You burned our escape route. Kira grabbed his arm, dragging him toward the alchemist's hidden door. No, genius. I made us a new one. They stumbled through the passage just as the ceiling groaned behind them, timbers collapsing in a shower of sparks. The tunnel beyond was narrow and dark, the air thick with the scent of herbs and something sour. Potions gone wrong. Elias wiped soot from his face. He's getting away. Kira nodded, jaw set. Not for long. They sprinted forward, the tunnel twisting downward until it opened into a cavernous laboratory. Shelves lined the walls, cluttered with bubbling flasks and strange, pulsing crystals. At the far end, the alchemist frantically stuffed scrolls into a satchel. Leaving so soon? Kira called, stepping into the light. The alchemist whirled, eyes wide. Persistent little pests, aren't you? Elias leveled his dagger. Give it up. The city's onto you. There's nowhere left to run. The alchemist's lips curled into a sneer. You think this was just about poisoning wells? He yanked a lever on the wall. The ground trembled as a massive, iron bar cage descended from the shadows above, and inside, something hissed. Kira's breath caught. Oh, you've got to be joking. A creature unlike anything Elias had ever seen pressed against the bars, scaled, multi-eyed, its claws scraping the metal. The alchemist laughed, backing toward another door. Meet my masterpiece. A little gift for your beloved city. Elias's blood ran cold. You're insane. The alchemist bowed mockingly. And you're dead. He slammed the door behind him as the cage lock clicked open. The beast lunged free, its roar shaking dust from the ceiling. Kira backpedaled, knives raised. Any bright ideas? Elias scanned the lab desperately. Those crystals, they're unstable. If we can lure it close. Kira didn't wait for the rest. Darting forward, she slashed at the creature's flank, drawing its attention. Hey, ugly, over here. The beast turned, snarling, and charged. Elias snatched a vial from a shelf and hurled it at the crystal cluster. The explosion sent them both flying, the cavern filling with blinding light and the creature's shrieks. When the dust settled, the beast lay motionless, half buried in rubble. Kira groaned, pushing herself up. Remind me why we didn't just become farmers? Elias coughed, offering her a hand. Because farming's boring. She took it wincing. Fair point. Above, the distant sound of horns echoed, the city guard finally arriving. Kira Smiegel. Took them long enough. Elias nodded, exhaustion weighing his limbs. Let's get out of here before they ask too many questions. As they slipped into the tunnels, the first light of dawn crept through the cracks above. The city would never know how close it had come to disaster, but Elias and Kira exchanged a glance, the unspoken truth hanging between them. Somewhere, the alchemist was still out there. And this wasn't over. Kira nudged Elias's shoulder. "Next time, you get a play bait." He laughed, the sound echoing into the rising sun. "Deal." And with that, they vanished into the shadows once more. And that was the end of the story. Comment below if you want the next chapter, and hit that like button. Please subscribe, turn on the bell, and as always, keep the last light burning.